Hi people, my name is Argandios, and in this video I'm going to talk about all the Shadowlands stuff I didn't talk in the previous video. Okay, in the previous video I talked about changes for rogues, talents, stats, etc. You can check the video, I will put the link in the description below. And in this video I want to talk about all the rest of things. Covenants, Legendaries, Conduits, Solvents. So the important stuff. Okay, I have no idea of how this works. So let's begin with it. We're going to begin with Kyria.
What troubles you?
Yes, I want to test it, please. Okay, each covenant has two abilities. One general ability for all classes and then a class-specific ability. In this case, the general ability is called Summon Steward, and we are going to summon this kind of little owl that which will give us these fields of serenity. Okay, these fields will restore a bit amount of health and will remove disease, poisons, curses, bleed. Okay, this is kind of a mix between potion and Cloak of Shadows. So I think that it's not a bad ability, okay, but I think from all the general covenant abilities, probably the worst for rogues. Why? Because we have Cloak of Shadows. If we are, as I am, dwarves, we can remove also bleeds, and well, we will have other ways to heal. Okay, away from Crimson Belial, we will have conduits that we heal use. So I think it's personally, I believe it's the worst covenant, general ability from all the
Welcome.
Now, regarding the rogue specific ability, it's called Etching, Echoing Reprimand. It costs 10 energy, 45 seconds cooldown, and awards 2 combo points. It does a good amount of damage, and what it will do is to mark one of these combo points, 2, 3 or 4, and we must match it. Okay, so this is it's 4 now. Okay, perfect, I matched it in the first one. I was lucky because I'm usually not so lucky. Okay, I match it again, and it will
How may I be
like
of use?
okay, nice. I've been lucky, it's very lucky this
Please
time.
make your request.
What it will do is work like a 7 combo point ability. Okay, if we have slice and dice, it will last like a 7 combo point. If we use dispatch, it will damage us. It had 7 combo points. What's the issue? The issue is that Outlaw Rogue, its combo point generation is very random. Sometimes I have been able to reuse the ability, okay, all the CD of the ability, the 45 seconds, without much the combo point I needed. Not only once. So it's a lose in that scenario. Okay, we can be lucky and okay, we get it. Like you have seen, I've been very lucky because it's very unusual for that to happen, but usually it's not the case. Okay. Now regarding solvents, we have Pelagos, Clea, and Mechanicus. Mechanicus works against us, so we do not want to use it ever. Clea might see some uses in PvP sometimes, but the good one is Pelagos. Pelagos is the one we are going to be using for almost everything. PvP, PvE, raid, with plus going out into the world, whatever we want to see. Okay, I will talk about the Covenant equilibrium power later. Okay, so now let's move to Nightfall. Hey ladies.
Oh,
Ooh,
this should be interesting.
We will hunt
okay.
the hunter.
The general Covenant ability for Night Fae is called Soul Ship. It will teleport us and it will transform us into this nice fox. Okay? I'm a fox, I'm Night Brilliant and I'm blue. Basically. It can teleport. Okay, each time we reactivate it, it's 4 seconds, or yes, 4 seconds it is. While we are in a resting place, its duration is eternal while we are in a resting place. If not, it lasts for 12 seconds maximum. Okay, which is more mobility, and it's a nice chunk of mobility. Okay, it's not like we rogues need a lot more mobility, but this works very fine. Now, regarding the class ability, we have Sepsis. It costs 25 energy, has a 1.5 minute cooldown. I will talk about it now. And award 1 combo point. While I say the duration of the CD duration is 1 minute or 1.5. 1.5 minute is if the ability does not kill the mob. Okay, if the mob dies while the ability is on it, it will reduce its CD by 30 seconds, which means we want to put the ability when the mob is kind of near to die. Okay, so I'm going to use it. It puts a dot. Okay, and when it finish, you will see here how I create this my stealth bar. Okay, I have 6 seconds to use any of my abilities. If I do not, then the bar is removed. Okay, but the thing is to use ambush or chip shot. This is a good ability for subtlety rogues, but is not so good for outlaw. Okay, because well, neither dispatch or chip shot are precisely one of our best abilities. Okay, as I say, very good for subtlety, not so good for outlaw. Nice for assassination, but no more than nice. Okay, regarding soulbinds, we have Ninja, Dreamweaver, and Korai. Dreamweaver, we are not going to use it almost in anything, and we will use either Ninja or Korai. Ninja, we will probably use it a lot in Mythic Plus and PvP. Why? Because Ninja has a power that each time we interrupt something, it puts a dot, and if we interrupt it again, that same mob, it will do a lot of damage. Okay, so this is a very good soulbind if you are going to be interrupting things. So PvP against casters and Mythic Plus will be a natural soulbind for them. Okay, and it's very good. As I say, it does a lot of damage. Now, Korain is the one we will use in raids, because in raids, well, we are not going to be interrupting so much, and we win. So now let's move to our vampire.
My duty is to Revendreth, not the master.
Okay, Benthir has as a general ability has Duro Shadows, which is basically a teleport. It's better than Maze One, in which it goes farther than them, but well, it's caster, so it can be interrupted and all that kind of things. Regarding the class ability, it's called Flagellation. It costs 20 energy. It has a 1.5 minutes cooldown, which is the largest cooldown of all with Night Fae, but Night Fae might be reduced, so it's the largest period. And what it does is latches the target 3 times, dealing a little bit amount of damage, okay, and adding a stack of debuff in the target. When we are going to, each time we use a combo point spender, we will lash the target another 5 times, 4 times, 6 times, the amount of times we have combo points. Okay, I will show you now. Once we are going to end the buff, we can use flagellation again, and then we will win a lot of haste, up to 15%. So I'm going to show you how this works, and a nice synergy it has with one of the times. Okay, I activate it. No, but very good.
Revendreth must be restored.
Yes, I want to restore because I have messed that big time. Okay, let's go to it. So we want to hold our combo points, 5 combo points. No, we activate the ability, and then we use it. And you see, I do not need to make damage to the thing. Okay, I can use, for example, slice and dice or kidney shot, and it will do the damage. Now I click again the ability, I go to the late. If I would use it in time, it will have give me the haste. Okay. This power has a very strong synergy with Dreadblades. Dreadblades, as you know, use 5 combo points each time we use a combo point generator. So we have 5 combo points. We use this ability, which is flagellation. We use whatever ability, we use whatever finishes we want, a generator ability, whatever other finisher we want, another ability, whatever finishes we want, and we get a lot of damage. Okay, so if you want to use Dreadblades, usually Benthir is a very good option. Or if you choose Benthir, then Dreadblades is a very good option. Whatever you prefer. Okay. Now, Necrolords.
Maldraxxus honors you.
Yes, I want to test. Okay. So the general ability for Necrolords is called Fleshcraft. Fleshcraft will put a shield on us for 20% of our life, which can be increased if we use it near the corpse of a mob we just killed. Now, this ability has two problems. Okay. First of all, if we are in stealth, it gives us auto. And the second one is we must be 4 seconds totally quiet and saying, "Hey, I am here with my hands up." Well, whatever happens. Okay, so in PvP it's kind of shitty. I must say it this way. It's kind of shitty. The protection is okay, but the ability itself, the 4 seconds casting, and okay, I cannot do it in stealth, is kind of what the fuck. Now, in exchange, we have Serrated Bonus Pack, which costs 15 energy. It has a 30-second recharge time. It has 3 charges and awards 1 combo point per active bonus pack, plus 1. So what does this mean? This means that if I use it in this mob here, I get 1 combo point. Now, if I use it again in the same mob, I get 2 combo points. Now let's use combo points. Again. And now I have this mob, so I can use it in this other mob. And I get 2 combo points, because I have it in this one. And now I have 2 mobs with combo points, so I can remove a few combo points and use it again, and I have 3 combo points. Okay, and if I put the Serrated Bonus Pack in all the 4 mobs, each time I use it again, I will get 5 combo points from a single Serrated Bonus Pack, which is terribly OP. So, what's the drill here? The drill here is it does not crit. Okay, it has the, or at least in some point, has the affected, but not crit. You cannot crit with this ability. It's the bad part. We will see with conduits later. It has a conduit for that. So now regarding power levels, for single target, okay, each one of these abilities of the Covenant are very near. The abilities are within, I think, is 0.5% each one of each other. So Blizzard really has nickeled it. And regarding the soulbinds, I forgot, I have not talked about Benthir or Necrolord Covenant's soulbinds. So let me please check that out. Okay, for Benthir we have Nadja, Theotar, and Draven. Draven is the only one we are not going to pick ever. Theotar and Nadja are more or less in the same power level each one. So pick the one you like. Now, regarding Necrolords, we have Marileth, Emeny, and Hail. Emeny is God, and you should worship it forever and ever. Marileth might see some uses in PvP, and Hailmir is kind of, well, wide even more. Okay? Now, what I was speaking about, power levels. Regarding the abilities, they are very near. And regarding covenants with soulbinds and abilities, they are very near too. Okay, Kyrian is very slightly ahead of them, or at least it was until they nerfed Pelados. I think the actually is probably even not the best. Probably, maybe. maybe, okay, because I have not seen the last simulations yet. But there's one of these commands which have a big uh, let's say advantage over the others in multi-target, which is evidently Necrolords, because other bone spike, the others are not bad, okay, because we are going to be using Blade Fury, so we have 7 combo points, whatever in Blade Fury. This is the only one that has absolutely no interaction. Okay, yes, we can make dispatch ambush with Blood Fury, but the gain is almost useless. Here we can have with Benzir we can have 2 targets, okay, and the haste ability is okay for while we're doing Blade Fury, but Necrolord ability wins. In my opinion, at least, is the best one by far, okay. You need a bit of micromanagement for it to work right, but the extra combo points plus the damage to all the mobs does it the best ability for Mythic Plus by far. Not so much for PvP, because if whatever we are hitting hits to the maximum, then the dot is this problem, okay. So it's kind of is the best for Mythic Plus, probably. It's not so good for PvP. It's okay for single target. So choose what you want. Okay, as I say to you, okay, Necrolord has a little advantage in more than one target, but the advantage is not really so great. Okay, yes, it's superior, but it's not like, oh my god, I'm going to be useless in Mythic Plus is if I do not choose Necrolords. Okay, take that into account. They are very, very narrow, so choose whatever you want. Now, regarding conduits, we are going to begin with the Covenant conduits. So these are the potency conduit for each of the covenants. Okay, in Kyrian we have Echoing Reverberation, in which Echoing Reprimand, well, the initial damage is increased by 50%. This is increased to 120% once we reach the last conduit, which will be about 9.3, 9.4, something like that. Okay. Lashing Scars is for Benzir. Flagellation lasts 2 additional times. If you remember, it lasts 3 times. Now it lasts 5 times from the initial hit and deals 50% initial damage, increased damage. For Necrolords, we have Student Fractures. In Serrated Bone Speak, it has a 50% chance to deal its damage a second time. It's kind of put crit into Serrated Bone Spike. If you remember when I was talking about it, I said that it does not crit. Okay, this is the crit from this ability. Literally, they give you a 50% crit in this ability. Is what this conduit does. Okay, and finally we have Septic Shock for the Nightfire conduit. Sepsis. The damage over time is increased by 80%, reduces by 10% each time it deals damage. What does it mean? It means that Sepsis puts a dot. Okay, the first tick will be the damage of the first tick will be increased by 80%. The second tick by 70%. The third tick by 60%. The fourth tick by 50%, and so on. Okay, until it reaches its minimum with the last tick of damage, whatever it is. Why are these Covenant conduits important? Because they are multi-spec. Okay, you can have a soulbind that you want to use for 2 specs. So instead, in one of the potency conduit slots, you can put one of these instead of a potency conduit from that specific specialization. So you can use the same soulbind for both of them. At least easier to do, okay, than if you don't put these Covenant conduits. So now let's go with the rest of the conduits. So here we are, and well, as you can see, I have some fractures here because, well, I have chosen the Necrolord Covenant, and this is one of the potency conduits that I used to talk about you. Okay, potency conduits go in these slots here with the little crosses. Okay, and away from the covenant choices, we have also triple threat. Sinister strike has a 9% chance to strike with both weapons after it strikes an additional time. This is a nice conduit and have a great synergy with Weapon Master. Okay, if you pick this conduit, you will pick Weapon Master. Now we have Sleight of Hand. Roll the bones has a 10% increased chance of granting additional matches. It's okay. It's a nice conduit, but not really the best. Conduits, Ambush and Dispatch have a 15% chance to grant your Roll the Bones combat enhancement buff you do not already have for 5 seconds. This is basically our best conduit. It's not far away, okay, from the others. Okay, if you don't pick it, you are not going into terribly bad, but it's the best actually for a slight margin, but it's the best. Okay, and finally we have Ambidextrity. Main Gouge, which is our mastery, okay, has an additional 3% chance to strike while Breath Fairy is active. These numbers you see here in white, okay, are the basic ones. So are the numbers that will change with each conduit. As you see, I have all of those in green. These are the lowest rank of these conduits, so don't be worried about it. They are better ones, and you will pick them easy enough and fast enough. Okay. Now, so conduits, potency conduits. Count the odds. As I said, is the best one. Is the one I will probably pick whatever I do. And then, if I'm going to go to a single target fight, I will probably pick triple threat. And if I'm going to go for a multi-target fight or Mythic Plus or whatever, okay, I will pick Ambidextrity. You can do whatever you want, basically. Okay, Finish Conduit. These go here in this slot with this small ray here. Okay, and we have Rushed Setup. The energy cost of Kidney Shot, Shape Shot, Sap, and Distract are reduced by 20%. This is the only Finish Conduit that gives a slight, very slight increase of damage output, because in PvP and in Mythic Plus. In Raid, not so much, because in Raid we are not going to use them at all. But both in Mythic Plus and in PvP, we are going to be using at least Kidney Shot from time to time. And if we need less energy to use it, then we can use that energy into Sinister Strikes and Peter Shot. So, a slight increase in DPS. Nothing really crazy, okay? Quick Decisions. Rapid's hook cooldown is reduced by 10% and its maximum range is increased by 12%. More mobility, nice, okay. Prepared for All. Dodging attacks reduce the remaining cooldown of evasion by 2 seconds, and successful interrupt kick reduce the remaining cooldown of Cloak of Shadows by 4 seconds. Another nice one, nothing really crazy also. Faith to Nothing. Gain Stealth, Vanish, or Sword of Concealment, increase movement speed by 10% for 10 seconds. Again, more mobility, not bad. Choose whatever you want, okay? And finally, we have Endurance Conduit. This one goes here in the slots with the little shields. And we have Recuperator. Slice and Dice heals you up for 18%, in this case, lowest one, of your maximum health over 36 seconds. As we have Slice and Dice active, this is a nice sustain ability, okay? It's nothing crazy, but it's very nice, especially, well, later on when we have higher ranks, it becomes a little bit crazy, okay? But right now it's not really something very big. Nimble Fingers, energy cost of Pain and Crimson Vial reduced by 5. This is again the other conduit, in this case the Endurance Conduit, which gives us a little boost to DPS, because again, less energy use in case of Vial or in Feint, whatever we can use it for, PvP, Mythic Plus to help the healers, right to help the healers, is welcome. Okay, more energy, more DPS. And finally, Cloak in Shadows. Entering Stealth cloaks you in shadows, absorbing 10% of your maximum health in damage, reduced by 1% each second outside of stealth. Nice, not really great, but in PvP you can see some uses. Okay, now let's go for Legendaries. Okay, First one, Greenskin Wickers. This is a return from Legion and from an asset power. Between the eyes has a 20% chance per combo point to increase the damage of your next pistol shot by 200%. We know this one is a little behind of the best legendary, okay, but it's very little behind. So if you enjoy this playstyle, keep it, okay, and pick this legendary. Nothing more to say. Consider Blunderbuss. When Sinister Strike hits an additional time, there is a 40% chance that your next pistol shot will fire 2 additional times. Again, this have a very good synergy with Weapon Master, so if you pick this legendary, you will pick Weapon Master, and with that in mind, this is our best single target legendary, okay? By slightly margin, but it is. The margin is very slight, so I will talk about all the legendaries that can compete with this, okay? Bandit Charm, well, one of them is Wink's Wicker, of course. Bandit Charm. Take advantage of the natural ebb and flow of the combat, causing your Sinister Strike to gradually increase your damage dealt up to 10%. This maximum effects will last for 10 seconds before fighting and beginning the cyclone. Okay, when you use Sinister Strike, you are going to gain stacks, okay? After 10 seconds, you will gain first stack, second, third. First stack is 3% more damage, second is 6% more damage, and third stack is 10% more damage. So what's the problem with this legendary? This was a way to play for Outlaw Rogue when it was Combat Rogue, okay, back in, I think it was Cataclysm or maybe even Wrath of the Lich King, more or less, okay. Problem is ramp up, okay, you must ramp up in order to get the 10%, and when you reach the 10%, then you must burst with all your CDs, all your damage CDs, which is not the best, because you might need that or boost before, okay. So if you want to try the playstyle, it's okay, but it's not really something amazing, okay. Accelerated loop. Adrenaline Rush increases your damage by 8%, and you have a chance when Legendaries is active to gain the Adrenaline Rush effect for 3 seconds. This is our best mixed legendary, okay. If you are going to have a fight with both single target and multi-target parts, you will want to pick this legendary. It's slightly behind for the best option for single targets and slightly behind from the best option for multi-target. Well, maybe a bit more than slightly, but this one is the one you will want to go for. I have picked this in ring, but if you want to pick this legendary, you will pick it in shoulder. So get your leather worker friend and say, hey, I want some shoulder legendaries, okay? Because you will use them for this legendary. Now, more generic legendary rogues. Your combo point generating abilities have a chance to inflict the target with bloodfang, causing a bleed, and heal you a bit. Well, this legendary is okay for Thorghast, it's okay for single play, for when you're outdoor, killing moss, doing work quests and all that, but it's not really crazy, okay? Nothing, it's not the best by far. Toxic Blade Boost, Shift, there's 350% increased damage and no longer costs energy. As for us Outlaw Rogues, Shift is shit, so many shit, we are not going to use it. So, Shadowlands Locket, banish reduce the remaining cooldown of your other abilities by 20%. It's very nice, it has some playability, okay, it's fun, it's a kind of, okay, let's go, I want to use banish and then I have my cooldowns earlier, and as we can use banish more often than the other rogues, this is better for us than for the other rogues, but it's not really crazy. And finally we have Sigil of the Master Assassin. While stealth is active and for 4 seconds after breaking stealth, your critical strike chance is increased by 100%. This is another return from Legion, and if you remember, I said, hey, if you want to multi-target, you will pick another legendary. Well, this one is, okay? But not in ring, you will pick it in wrist, okay? Take that into account. I make a mistake picking in ring, but you will want it in wrists, okay? So this legendary works right now very well, especially Mythic Plus. Is kind of in 45 Mythic Plus, you will want this legendary. Period. Because the amount of DPS you pick in 45 with Banish, you enter from stealth, 4 seconds of crits, then stealth, then Banish, another 4 seconds of crits, is bonkers sometimes, okay? Is very good. So these are the 3 legendaries we are going to be based on, okay? Gonzalez Blunderbloods for single target, Siege of the Master Assassin for multi-target or for a lot of multi-target, Mythic Plus with 45, and Celerity Loop for mixed fights and Mythic Plus with Tyrannical Weeks. Okay. Other legendaries we have Maw Rattle. If you kill something, a rat shows up and goes and tries to kill something, okay, or make damage to something. Can see some uses in Mythic Plus and in Torghast, but not really a good legendary. Septic Proclamation. This is the PvP one, okay. This is not a bad legendary for Mythic Plus. So if you are going to do Mythic Plus and you cannot get your hands into Shield of the Master Assassin or whatever, this is, or you do PvP, a lot of PvP, and pick this one, you are not going to, Septic Proclamation. You are not going to be wrong by using this legendary. Okay, it's okay. There are some mobs that CC in Mythic Plus, so the CC reduction is very fine, and well, you will be interrupting things very often, so it will be active very often. So, as I say, if you want to do PvP and Mythic Plus, this is a good legendary to begin with until you can pick any of those. Okay. Judgment of the Arbiter. This is, I tested this, is a 3% increased damage more or less. Nothing really crazy, not terribly bad, but in general we are not going to pick it. Echo of Ionar, only maybe your right leader can make you wear this, but outside of that, because in right is the conjunction, okay, between several DPS, gaining DPS and all that is fine, but outside of that you are not going to use. Third Eye of the Jailer, killing an enemy gives you agility for a small amount of time. Can see some uses in Mythic Plus, but not really much. Outdoor is okay, and Torghast is main use. Okay, in Torghast you are going to be killing things, killing more things. So it's okay to use it there. Norcannon Sagacity is pretty useless, except to use the Fleshcraft, the 4 seconds. We can use those 4 seconds to we can use this legendary to use Fleshcraft while we move, but outside of that is totally useless, so we are not going to pick it. Vitality Sacrifice can see some uses in PvP, but not really great, so I would not use it. I sincerely would go for safe food here, but I give you the choice, okay, the choice. And finally, stable Phantasmal Loop. If you are going to do Torghast and more Torghast, and maybe more Torghast, you will want this legendary. If you are not going to do that, then you will not pick it. So this is all I have talked you about Covenants, Conduits, Soulbinds, and Legendaries. So you can pick whatever you want to pick. Okay, I've told you more or less. Okay, the number says this, but remember, numbers sims usually work with perfect conditions. You are not going to have perfect condition always, so pick whatever you want and whatever you like. And this is the video for today. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.